didn't hug this woman. I didn't shake her hand. I didn't kiss her. I didn't touch her any at all. So why is she stalking me?
Pickles a guy in Jamaican YouTuber. Icky my show.
Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the PDGCAST. Something I should be doing a long time ago, but here we are. And today I just want to talk about a few things. What's on the topics for today? I want to talk about my new stalker in depth and just relationships on a whole, and to see dynamics like toxic relationships as well. Also, I want to look at the way some of our students learn here in Japan and the education system, not really in depth there, but something like this because of my experience as a Jamaican teaching here in Japan and some of the things that I might not have ever covered before. Anyways, how's the guy day been? What he been up to? Let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, no, here's the thing. In Japan, I've had maybe one serious relationship, two, if you call it, well, two-ish. One that was actually the side man. This is really interesting because I thought I was actually the main, and she made me think that I was the main. But anyway, we're not going to talk about that person again. But other than that, I mean, it's been a dry run here for me, contrary to what other people believe, and others have a wonderful time here dating and getting in relationships and finding a spouse or having sex or whatever they team to be the end game for them. For me, apparently, I'm a bit too picky. I have certain standards that I wish to uphold when seeking like a partner or somebody who I want to be with. And I've seen a few persons that have piqued my interest, but apparently me no peak for them own. Or, I wait too long and you just end up in a position of flux. You're not sure where you are, and then if you step out, it's about, oh, they don't want to risk, the friendship. I guess they're risk averse. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Now, with this new situation, I want to give you guys some context. So in a I live in the boonies, in the sticks, in the countryside, basically. Uh, it has one outlet mall. It just got a new Costco, and that's it. The nightlife here is dead, fam. Dead, right? The amount of foreigners here in Japan, I can probably count on two hands. That might be a stretch, but the point is, all I see in my area at night are workers, old women, and students. Basically, it's old and students. There's no in between. Hardly anybody my age I see around this side. Now, what is interesting is that because of the safety of Japan, you'll end up being out just walking around at night sometimes. Just taking in some fresh air, running to the convenience store, doing that sort of thing. And it's interesting that you buck up, as Jamaicans would say, you run into random people, and sometimes they're nice, sometimes they're not so nice, but more often than not in Japan, you run into a lot of nice people. So this was in the peak of the corona, maybe 2 3 months ago in Japan. I wasn't working. I was at home eating and getting fat. That corona weight is real. And it's fine because you're not working. What is there to do? Oh, if you don't come out of the corona with an extra skill or something or certification, then you're wasting your time. That type of crowd people. Yeah, whatever. How's that going along? Alright. So I was walking back from the convenience store. Met ran into this lady. She stopped me and said, "Oh, hello, someone was saying, excuse me," uh, and we started having a conversation. Being the friendly person that I am, and the fact that I'm really bored in Kisada Zoo, I entertained this young lady, and I use young as a loosely. Uh, she was saying to me like, "Oh, she's from Tokyo. There's nothing to do here. It's boring." All those ideas that she posited, I agreed wholeheartedly because there's nothing to do here. And she said, "Oh, her fiance is in Canada, and this is not Nampa." That's very crucial. So Nampa is the Japanese word or term for trying to pick up somebody, trying to flirt, trying to get with them, trying to take them home. All right. Please remember this. This is very important for the story. This young lady says, "Oh, what am I doing here?" Basically, I said, "Well, I teach English." "Oh, you work at the Eikaiwa down by XYZ. I said, "Yeah, it's a children's Eikaiwa." "Oh, okay. I really want to learn English." That's also code, apparently in Japan, but we're not going down there. We can go, but when they say they want to study English with a foreigner, especially older women, it it means there's a little bit more there. Anyway, I said, "Well, I want to teach children," so I wasn't really interested either. She is not attractive, in my opinion. And in other person's opinion, many, probably I am not an attractive guy, although then they would need to check their eyes, go to ophthalmologists or whoever to check their lenses, make sure they don't have glaucoma, because as you can see. Right, so, look, I'll do this very quickly. So this young lady decided that she wanted to continue the conversation. We were talking in the middle of the road till cars were coming and she wouldn't move out of the way. So I had to step back so the car could pass and she would follow suit. And I thought that was the last time I'd see her, you know? Cool. Fast forward to last week. I'm walking home with my headphones on, which is customary. I'm just trying to get home from work. I walk past this lady, not seeing her, on the street that is where my apartment is, kind of, right? But not that close to my apartment. Sorry. She says, "Ah, hello, Aboita." Means, "Do you remember me?" Excuse me. So I'm like, "Yeah." "Yukika da yo, Yukika da yo." I'm like, "Okay." But I'm just trying to get home. I'm really just trying to get home. Tired, long day, you know? And she insists to have a conversation. So I have my phone out. This is also very crucial to the story. I have my phone out, not paying her that much attention, but giving her enough to show that, you know, I'm listening, but I'm really not listening. You know what I mean? Right. So I was like, "Yeah, alright, girl, sure, whatever." And she's like, "Ando de ne." I said, "Sake wa ne. Ano, I was drinking, and it was awesome. Canadian Club whiskey." And I'm like, "Okay." Yeah, and she starts to give me directions to where this bar is that she was drinking. I'm not interested. I know where the bar was, but I was like, "Oh, okay, okay." Japanese have a saying, "Cookie oyomu," please to read the air. This woman was not reading the air. She not read it. Because I'm trying to get out of here. She's still just talking. I have my phone out. And in the middle of the conversation, we're talking and whatever, and I'm trying to get out. She just says, "Zero young son." So I'm like, is that a password for something? What was she? Is she trying to tell me? Is that her body count? Is that how old she is? What is this Zero Song Yan? Zero Young Yan. Zero Young San, which is 043. So I'm like, "Nani?" She's like, "Zero Song Yang. Atashi na bango da yo." Ke? I'm like, this person. She's not serious. She's not serious. I'm like, "Huh? Nampa Janai. She made sure to tell me that it was Nampa. Again, And then 2 minutes later, she's giving me her phone number. And before that, she reminded me that her fiance is in Canada and this is not Nampa. People, I was like, okay, zero young son, hi, and I type in the number in the phone. I didn't save it because my plan was to just erase the numbers. But homegirl, obviously, been around the block a couple times, knows all the tricks of the trades because these Japanese girls think they're slick. She says, so call me. I said, huh? Yate yate? Renakashite? I'm like, oh, bloody hell, fuck. Bloody hell. Homegirl has got me. So I call it, make sure it rings, and she watches me and she says, save it. Save it. So at least I know when she's calling me so I can escape, right? Anyway, after doing that, I need an escape plan. I send out a SOS to my bro, G Mills. Send out that message. Yo, bro, call me. No. SOS, my guy. 10 seconds later, phone rings. Sorry. Someone said, no. I got to take this. He said, no, it's okay. But before Jiri called me, she offered me a drink. She's like, sake no. I said, yes, but not now. I have to go home. No, ano sake wa ne? Lawson there. Ano sake to gari kun ice cream katte. So she's saying that before she went to drink, she stopped at Lawson's and bought like a chew high and ice cream bar. And then she was walking around and then went to the bar. When she gave me the ice cream bar, people, it was slush because of how long she was outside walking around with it after purchasing. And I reluctantly accepted the gift because if I didn't, it would be problems. And I just don't want any problems. For easy way of life, I said, okay, I took it. I said, okay, see you. Matane. Cool. I think it's done. We cool, right, guys? We're cool. Whole time. Right, we're cool. Everything big. No. I come home another day. I'm chilling on my PlayStation, talking to my friend Dello, talking on the PlayStation, and have my foot cock up on the table. I relax because I'm chilling. While talking, I often get complaints for noise, of course, because I'm a noisy guy, and it is like this word. I don't know. I hear knocking, so I think it's my neighbor because I'm talking too loudly. So I lean my ears towards the wall, and I'm not hearing it coming from there. So I said, "Wait, did I kick something?" And then I turn the TV volume down. I hear the knocking again from the door. So I'm like, I am not expecting a package, and they would use a bell. So, who could it be? Also, a point to note, my door was slightly ajar. I don't usually close my door, and I don't apparently close it properly. Anyway, the knocking continues. I press the monitor here to see who's outside. Lo and behold, there is that same young lady with a alcoholic beverage in her hand knocking on my door and looking through the peephole trying to see if I'm going to come through. People, I froze and stopped my breath looking at my mother like this. Don't move. Maybe she won't see us. Literally, that's how it was. I was saying, yo, Del. Yo, the gal outside, dog, I want this. People, I don't know if you understand. Because right now, I'm not prepared for this. How did this crazy ass woman know where I live? Is it because I'm the only black person walking around this place? Did she follow me home one day? Was she observing my movements? How does she know where I live? So I I allow her to continue knocking, and eventually she goes away. Thank God. I wait another 10 minutes, then I go and pull up the door properly, close it. She calls my phone. So I'm like, wait, what's going on? So I call her back. I said, Dashta. And then, Sakiwa Itayo. I'm like, huh? Doko? Like, where did he go? She started laughing. And I'm not in an apartment there. I'm like, you came to my apartment? Wait, chumate. My door? You came to my door? Hey, I tell you, and on the under the sun, chanta shimitine. I'm like, hold on. We don't go past this. Like, we are casual, and I took you here before. You came to my door? No, that's not possible. Chico. Ciao. That's not right. No, not my door. Yeah, you saw me in the monitor. I'm like, huh? What are you talking about? Yeah, so that's a no for me. Then the call got disconnected. Then she said something, just before it got disconnected. She said something like "nampa sweeta yo," and if I understood correctly, she was saying she needed to flirt, or she wanted to flirt. Is that what it means? I don't remember, but the context was that she was drunk, came to my house at night, and when Japanese girls come to your house drunk at night, it only means that she needs to go to her own house to recover. Because I've never had that experience before with a Japanese girl who has been drunk in my house. Because I don't have a house here, I have an apartment. But generally speaking, if a Japanese girl is drunk and is coming to your apartment, you must get consent, even if she's drunk. Whether she's drunk or not, consent is the way to go, right? So I don't know about anything like that because I don't have that sort of experience. Oops. Yeah, but seriously, like, what the fudge is that? Anyway, so now I lock my doors properly. I sleep with the door locked, and I walk with my head on a pivot at all times because this is just not what I didn't hug this woman. I didn't shake her hand. I didn't kiss her. I didn't touch her any at all. So why is she stalking me? Please tell me why she's stalking me. All right, yeah. So I wanted to also talk about the whole toxic relationship thing because of the whole stalker situation. It brought to memory a few stories and a few things that I have seen and been very close to. You know, while I was in Jamaica, especially, and also the things that a lot of women go through generally every day, and persons relationship go through. Now I remember the first time I saw something really like wild and abusive was when I was at university. There was a particular couple that came from a part of the island that I won't say because it might give away the whole situation. And I remember this young man and rumors of him being abusive. I was at the time kind of not close but friends with the young lady, and apparently she told me about her very jealous boyfriend. And I mean, what do you mean jealous? I know I understood what jealous was, but I mean, jealous to what end? I didn't know it was to the end that he used to beat her. Anyway, that young man one day got really angry. He has anger issues, and he basically punched through a door because he was upset with her. He was eventually banned from that location. For those who know, you know, but I can't talk about this more in detail. Not giving any, trying to get any lawsuits here in 2020. And I'm like, whoa, why would someone put up with all of that? Then, it's not someone putting up with it, but how it's difficult because persons are invested emotionally in relationships and they really love them. And you want to see better, you want to see change, and they're hoping that change can happen. Another situation that I remember was this girl that I worked with. Was with her dude for a long time, but I think she lived with her mother. And one day they were having an argument on the phone, and apparently was threatening her on the phone for whatever reason, and she hung up and whatever. When we went outside for her to go home, the air was let out of her tires. Yeah, all the tires. I'm going to say one of them was punctured, but the air was gone. The valves were leaked or whatever. All of them. So, in my mind, if this is your woman, you're angry with her, the solution to the problem is to let out the air out of her tire, to leave her stranded at night in Kingston? Really? Really, sir? Seriously? Sometimes man, these are real germs, Like, how does that? How does that make sense? Even if you're breaking up, it doesn't. That there's no way to validate that at all. I don't condone women either damaging a man's property because or whatever. I don't. Let's just don't do it. Just don't do it. You know. And what is it about us as human beings that we're unable to resolve issues amicably and to accept things as they are? You know, maybe I need to take my own advice. But at the end of the day, if someone is not good for you, if they bring out the worst in you all the time, it's best to get them out of your life. I don't know how you're going to do it, but it should be in a way that I don't know. I don't know. This relationship thing is hard. Maybe that's why I'm still single because I can't navigate my emotions like that. I mean, when I really care about you and I want to be with you and I like you, I'm into you. And I don't need 10 days or 1 month to tell you that I love you. I'm really into you. I like you a lot. If the chemistry is there, if the carbon bodies are attracted to each other, if the synapses are snapping and there is a definite connection, I want you to know. And I think that kind of affected one of my early relationships in when I just started working because the young lady was unable to cope with the intensity. I was on page 40 in the book and she hadn't even opened the book. Alright, stop. No. She was like at the table of contents, just going through to see what is to come. I was already into chapter 3 and the plot was developing. And there was a difference there. But I'm an Aries and that's how we roll. We love hard and we lose hard, we win hard. We just go hard and done. Also, what's interesting, since coming to Japan, I learned about my personality type. And that was with the encouragement of a friend to find out what my personality type was because she suspected I was this type and that explained a lot of my behavior. I encourage you guys also to do it as well so you kind of have a general idea of where you fit in the, I guess, the society. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on from that. What is this we're going to talk about today? Oh, yeah. So moving on from that, being a Jamaican in Japan and teaching English, many Jamaicans will encounter this. First of all, they ask us if we speak English in Jamaica, and I'm like, all right, this is going to be a long year. And it's, I guess, Jamaica, is known for reggae music and running and marijuana and that sort of thing. And yes, our native language is English, but there are a lot of preconceived ideas and stereotypes they have for our country. And first of all, Jamaica is in Africa is the number one question asked. If no one in Japan has ever asked you if Jamaica's in Africa, then you truly have not been in Japan. And my response is Japan in China, and that shuts them up usually, and or they laugh and they say, oh, okay, okay, right, it's the same way. um, but teaching kids here has opened my eyes to the fact that not everything is as it seems with how the country is portrayed. A lot of the kids don't have that critical thinking or have the creativity that is often spouted or touted. Sorry, where is spouted from? Touted out based on to the outside world. How they learn here is also different from how I learned in school, and I guess education and teaching techniques are dynamic. And as more research is done to see how students learn, you recognize that some things become outdated and some things become more relevant. There's a new way to multiply. There's a new way to divide. Dynamic stuff, and it's whatever. It takes longer, but I guess it's a way to teach them some form of fundamentals. And funny enough, if you go through the whole system in the West, I can't speak about Jamaican education, that what you learn in primary and prep school and what you learn in high school and what you learn in university, you constantly learn and unlearn. So what you learned in primary school and prep school for mathematics, when you get to high school, you unlearn that and then learn something new. And when you get to university first year, you unlearn what you've learned before and then learn something new, because apparently the concepts are too complex at whatever stage of your life you are. And I figure that with languages, it's different, because the younger you are, the more of a sponge your brain is, and you're able to absorb more and retain more. English in Japan is seen as an extracurricular activity, and as a result, it is treated as such. So maybe the emphasis, especially in certain companies, is just for the children to have fun learning English and not necessarily getting the grammar rules down or the vocabulary down, but to know that English is fun, you know. Foreigners are fun, you know. ALTs and persons that work in AKIWAs will have different experiences, yet they have very similar experiences. The children's motivation to learn English will invariably affect the way they view English and the way they would want to study and want to use it and speak it. With the postponement of the Olympics in Tokyo, a lot of persons might not see the immediate use of English, right? And hopefully the Olympics does get to happen, I guess, because a lot of the children have been looking forward to speaking English with a foreigner. And, that interaction may shape their lives going forward. As persons who teach English in Japan have come to notice that a lot of children here, don't have a reason or a dream to want to leave Japan. A lot of them, and this is perfectly fine, don't have a dream in terms of what they want to do with their lives, like jobs or career paths. And that is perfectly fine and understandable, because as you grow older and you develop habits and hobbies and you interact with persons, you start to form ideas of what is ideal for you. In Jamaica, in contrast, when I was growing up, persons were pushed into streams based on how well they did as a subject, not if they really cared about it or not. And so they would also grade your intelligence on that. So if someone was really good at sciences, they were smart. But some people are not science oriented. Some people are more artsy. Some persons have a way with words. Some people like numbers. Some people only can use numbers in applied circumstances like business and economics, while others can do it abstractly, like in mathematics and computer science. And it's really interesting that as you get older, you realize that some of the choices that you made as a child, as a teenager, and as a young adult would have so much of an impact in your life later on. Yeah, it's really weird, for me at least. Because you never knew, you know you're going to grow older, but when you actually reach to the older, your age has fallen off the lamppost, you know, off the calendar and onto the lamppost actually. You realize that, wow, you maybe could have done some things differently. But I really have no regrets for moving to Japan. It has broadened my horizons beyond my wildest dreams. I have interacted with persons from across the globe. I have kind of learned a new language that I never spoke 7 years ago at all. Uh, my palate has changed. You know, it's different. Like when I went back home to Jamaica, the food felt really salty and flavorful. It was exaggerated flavor because in Japan everything's really bland because of it's had to be easy for the older persons here. Yeah, and I'm just saying this loosely to tie in to bring in the point that how we view teaching, especially teaching English in Japan, will be different for each person based on their experiences, based on the path that they took to get here and where they want to go. You know, for some it's just a payday. For some, it's a way to affect the lives of others. For some, it's a way to live out some dream they had. And for others, it's just me, a mark on the map. Somewhere they want a stepping stone to their final objective. And that's what life is about, I think. It's just to find your purpose. And the Japanese have it called ikigai. Ikigai, which is like the reason for living, purpose for living. Yeah. Uh, that's I think that's it. That's it. That's the podcast. That's it. I don't want to make it too long. 10 minutes. All right. Yes, that is the podcast for today. If you made it through the full podcast, let me know when you see it. Put hashtag I did it. All right. If you watch the entire video, leave a comment below. What topics do you want me to discuss next? What other content do you want to see on the channel? Let me know. I'll consider it and put out some more videos. Yes, guys. So the party is postponed to this Sunday. So please come out to it at the Kasai something something park. I'll put the flyer here again. Uh, that's it. Biggest guy to Jamaican YouTuber. Look over video. Look out for another video coming soon. Love you. If it can't be good, be creative. Peace. Jesus. Let me tell you something. I love my life.